Good morning, everybody. This is Kendra, and I'm coming to you live this morning for our August embroidery club that is being held virtually here on our Facebook page. And if you are just jumping on and joining us this morning, make sure you comment so that I know that you are watching with me this morning and that you're out there. So the project for this month is an Oesd project called Squeeze the Day, and it is a table topper, and you can see all these fun little lemons on there and different techniques. And you maybe already hear my embroidery machine going behind me. That's because this project does take a little bit of time to stitch, to actually do the stitch outs. So I did start it quite a while ago, and we are not very far yet, but I just wanted to get it going ahead of time to help save on time a little bit today. So I'm going to go over all of everything that you need to know on how to make this Squeeze the Day table topper this morning. So make sure that you comment so that I know that you're watching, and make sure you comment and let me know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see how far our viewers are from the shop and where they are watching from, just so we know who's all out there and where you're from is good. So let us know where you're watching from. All right, so if you signed up for our embroidery club, or if you're brand new, I'm going to go over everything there as well. So to join our embroidery club, you can go to our website at pnqs.net and go under classes and events, and you will see all of our embroidery club classes that are held virtually. Go ahead and sign up if you are brand new. Each month is right around $29.99 to sign up, and that gets you the kit to make the project and also the CD to join with us. But for this month, there was not a CD, so we emailed you all the designs and everything that you need for today. And I will go over that email and show you how to move everything onto your stick. So if you had already signed up for this month, you received an email from Joy earlier this week that included all the files and everything that you needed for today's class. So I'm just going to turn the camera over here to my computer and show you that email and show you how to take those designs and those files that Joy emailed and how to move them onto your USB stick. So hang with me 1 second. And I just want to quickly tell you, if you have any questions while I'm going through all of this, go ahead and type them in the comments. If I miss your question and I'm not able to answer it live on the video, I will go back after I'm done with the live video, read through all the comments and answer any questions that I may have missed. So just go ahead and type your questions in the comments if you have any of those. But I'm going to move you over here to my computer screen so you can see what's happening. I'm going to just zoom you in so you can see a little bit better. I see some familiar faces and names showing up that are watching this morning. Okay, you might not be able to read all of the words very clearly, but you should be able to see what I'm doing on the screen. So this is the email that we got from Joy. And down here on the bottom, you can see that there's all 5 of these attachments. So you have a PDF that is your lemon wedge templates. You have a circle template that is a PDF. You have your instructions. That's important, so you want to print that off. And then you also have a stabilizer fact sheet that you will want to print that off as well. So the lemon wedge template sheet, it looks like this. And let me move the camera a little bit so you can see the whole thing. So that's the lemon wedge template sheet. That's what that's going to look like. This is the circle template sheet. It just has like this quarter circle, and that's what that looks like. Okay, so once you print your instructions off, your instructions are going to look like this. So what it is telling us that we need for this project is some Oesd template sheets. And on your stabilizer fact sheet, it's going to look like this, and it's going to go over all the stabilizers that we're using for this project today. So we're going to use the Oesd Stable Stick Tearaway Stabilizer. It's on a roll. This is what it looks like. The Stable Stick template sheets. This is what that looks like. These are 8.5 by 11 inch sheets of Stable Stick that are cut just perfect to go right into your printer so that you can print those templates off onto the template sheets. And then the other thing that we are using is the Oesd fusible woven. So that also comes on a roll that you can use to back your main fabric piece that you're going to be embroidering on. Okay, so once you pull out your template sheets, you're going to want to pull out 2 of those template sheets, and one side you can feel is like a paper side and the other side is like a shiny glossy side. You're going to want to put these in your printer so that your lemons and your circle template print on the paper side, not on the shiny side. You want it to print on the paper side. So that is a little bit of upkeeping that you can do, is to get it to take this over to your printer and get that printed out on the paper side of these template sheets. Okay, so those are the downloads. And then I'm gonna go back to the email so I can show you the actual design files. And real quickly, I just want to give you another little tip about printing these out. If you print them out on a plain piece of paper first, then you will know exactly how it's going to print out on these template sheets so that you don't waste the template sheets. I was not able to print mine off at 100%. I set my printer settings to fit to page and got it to print off so that everything fit on the template sheet and I didn't lose anything. So that's a little tip for you. Okay, back to the email. You also have an attachment that says design files. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go ahead and click download. Can you see where I'm at there? Click download. Got to double click on it. And it pops up over here, my downloads, and I'm just going to open the file. And you can see right here are my designs. Can you see that? So here are all of the designs, and I am sewing on my Bernina 700, and that reads multiple formats, but I want to use the EXP format. So to keep it simple, I'm just going to check all the boxes that are not EXP. So I'm just going through and checking all the boxes that are not the EXP format, and I should have three boxes left over that are not checked when I'm all done. Oh shoot. Okay. Hang on 1 second. So I'm going to go through here and check these boxes, and I just want to delete them. And I'm only keeping my EXP designs. Well, it didn't like that. Okay, so I'm just going to choose, I'm going to take my USB stick. So since it's not letting me delete all of those, I'm going to show you how I do this. I'm just going to take my USB stick from Pine Needles, and I just want to give you a little, I'll tell you a little bit more about the Pine Needles USB sticks in just a minute. So that comes up. So I want to take my EXP design, and I'm just going to take that and I'm going to drag it down to my USB drive. I'm going to grab my other EXP one. And I'm going to drag that over to my USB drive. And then I have one more EXP design down here. I'm going to grab that and I'm going to drag that over to my USB drive. So then when I open up my USB drive, you can see here are my 3 EXP designs that are right there on my USB drive. And then I'm just gonna go back over here and I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna eject my USB drive because I wanna safely remove it from my computer. So everything is on my USB stick now, and I am ready to take it over and put it on my sewing machine. Okay, let me move you back over here so I can see you again. Hang on one second. Well, that was close. Okay. All right. Now I just have a little... Just gotta quick troubleshoot my embroidery machine so it keeps stitching for me here. Hang on one second. Just want to make sure I don't have a mess on the back. Okay, get that stitching again. Okay, so I quickly want to just tell you about the USB sticks that you use in your sewing machine. So you want to make sure that you are using a USB stick similar to this one from Pine Needles Quilt and Sew that has been formatted to be used safely in your machine. Some of the USB sticks that you can choose on the market, like you can just go to Walmart and pick up a USB stick, those may not be formatted to be compatible with the software on your sewing machine. So you want to make sure that you use a USB stick that is specifically formatted to safely be used with your sewing machine. So the girls in the tech shop will love you for using the USB sticks that are made specifically for your sewing machine. Okay. So once you get your designs on here, you can take that over to your sewing machine, plug your USB stick in, open up your USB, and your designs on your USB are right there, and you can choose which one you want. And I'll go over that a little bit further in just a second. Okay, I want to go back to our instructions. Once you print all of your instructions off, it is going to tell you in step number 1 is using the PDF template provided. You're going to print the circle template and the lemons onto your stable stick template sheets, and it's going to come out looking like this. And then this one I have already cut, but this is your quarter circle that is on your template sheet, and it's all cut ready. You're going to separate all the designs by trimming them about 1/4 inch around the outside of your design. So I have already trimmed all of my little lemons, and I have all the pieces right here. Hang on one second. I'm going to keep my machine going because, like I said, it does take a while to stitch everything out. Most of the projects that we have done so far this year, they are pretty fast and easy. This one does take a little bit more time. But it is so cute in the end, and it's well worth it. Okay. So once you get all of your little lemon pieces cut out like it shows us in step number 2, then we're going to move on to step number 3. So remember I said when you sign up for the class, you get the pattern and all the designs. You also get a kit of fabric. So in the kit this month, you have 2 pieces of fabric. You have a black piece of fabric, that is your backing fabric. And then you have a yellow piece of fabric, and this is your fabric for your binding. I was just reading quickly, Lenny said when you print the templates, do you print it in fit to page? Yes, I printed mine in fit to page just so that I could get them all on there and they wouldn't. So what you want to do is you're going to take your black piece of fabric and you're going to take it over to your iron and you're going to iron it all out nice and smooth. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take it to your cutting mat and you are going to cut 2 pieces of fabric that are 18 inches square. So here is my backing fabric, cut one of them that's cut 18 inches square. And the other thing that you want to do is, remember we talked about that fusible woven backing? You want to cut a piece of that that is also 18 inches square. The fusible woven backing is very similar to Shape Flex. If you don't have the fusible woven backing, you can also purchase some Shape Flex. And on one side of the Shape Flex, you'll feel these little bumps on there. That is the glue, that's the adhesive part of it. On the other side, it's just a smooth woven fabric. So you want to take the back side of your main piece or your backing fabric, and you're going to put the back side to the little glue dots that are on your Shape Flex. And you're just going to line them up. And my iron is warming up again because it shut off on me. So you're going to line it up like this on the back, and then you're just going to iron it on there. You're going to fuse it on there. So let me bring it over to my ironing station here. So I have my iron, and I'm just going to fuse this on the back. And you just kind of hold it on there just until that glue gets heated up on the back side to fuse to the wrong side of your backing fabric. So Claudia says she has Shape Flex. You can use that. Just cut an 18-inch square piece, the same size as your backing fabric that you cut. And it tells us how to cut them in step number 3 on our instructions. My iron's not quite warm, so it's taking me a little bit longer to press this on here. While my iron is warming up and while I'm doing this, I just want to quickly mention to make sure that you're commenting so that I know that you're watching, because we have lots of door prizes to give away today, and that is how I know who is out there for the door prizes, is by commenting to letting me know who is out there watching. I see lots of familiar names popping up that you are watching. Let me know if you are sewing along with me this morning or if you're just watching and gonna sew later. Okay, so that is fused on there. So now the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it in 2/4, wrong sides together. So I'm just going to line it up. Fold it into corners, and I want to make sure I give it a nice finger press on that folded edge. So I have it folded in half right now, and then I'm going to fold it in half again. And along those folded edges, I'm just giving it a nice finger press. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take your template sheet that you printed that quarter circle off of, and you are just going to peel that shiny papery side, not the paper side, but the shiny slick side. You want to peel that off. Sometimes it's hard to get it started. There we go. And you can use this, don't throw this away just yet. Save that because you can put this back on there and save it. So what we're going to do is we are going to take this piece right here and we're going to put it so that those straight edges are lined up with those folded edges on our piece of fabric. And we're going to cut our fabric into a circle by doing this. So you're just making sure everything is nice and lined up. You have your stable stick template is now stuck on. I have a folded edge here and I have a folded edge up on this side over here. And this is my corner. So on your folded edges is where you want your straight sides. And then you're going to take this over to your cutting mat and you're just going to cut right here along the edge. And I have my little cutting mat over here. Let me just bring this up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I have my rotary cutter. Move those out of the way. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my rotary cutter and I'm just going to be super careful and just cut right along that curved edge of that template piece. Be careful because you're not using a ruler to line up that blade. Just be careful that you're, be careful for your fingers. Okay, so now you can see that this is my template piece. I have a nice curved edge up here on the top. So I can take this paper, just peel that paper off. And then I can stick that back onto that paper side. And you can repeat this for your other 18-inch square. And use the same piece so that you have your second circle the same exact size for your backing as you do for your front. Now you're going to open it up and you'll see the little crosshairs that you finger pressed in there. And if you want to, you can just use a little chalk marking pencil to just mark that center square. So you can see I have my center marked with my chalk pencil right there. And now my background piece of my fabric is all ready to go. So now I have done step number 7. So now we're on step number 8 in our instructions. So now what you want to do is you want to choose your hoop that you're going to use for your machine. So you can use your large oval hoop that you got with your machine. You can use a midi hoop, or if you have a maxi or jumbo hoop, you can also use those hoops for this project. So the bigger the hoop, the more pieces that you can get into the hooping. Otherwise you're going to be re-hooping, which is no big deal. You can do that with the smaller hoop and you can still make the project. It's just fine. So for right now, I'm going to show you how to do that on the midi hoop. So I have my midi hoop and I'm going to hook it onto my master hooper. Open up my hoop. I have cut a piece of the Stable Stick tearaway stabilizer for the size of my hoop. I'm going to place it in the hoop, shiny paper side up. The smooth, slick side is facing up. And I'm just going to tighten that down. All right, you can see that it is in there nice and smooth. And I also just take my thumbs and I press that inner hoop to the back just a little bit because I want to have just a nice little lip, and maybe you can see that right there on the back side of my hoop. And that just helps to protect the bed of my sewing machine so that it doesn't scratch from any vibrations from the embroidery. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a straight pin and I'm going to just score this paper on the front side all the way around the edge of the hoop. And then I'm just going to score an X right through the center. And I'm just pressing just gently so that I'm just scoring the top paper and it's not going through onto the back. Then I'm going to take my pin and I'm just going to go underneath and lift that paper. And I can just tear away this smooth, shiny paper to expose this sticky back. So there is, the stickiness is exposed on my hoop. So now we've just completed step number 8 in our instructions. Now if we look at step number 9, I'm still stitching over here. So what I am going to do is I'm going to show you how to do this on my 880 over here. I'm going to keep the thread moving over here. I'm just rethreading my machine that's embroidering out the center design, so that keeps moving because it does take some time. Okay. So let me bring you back over here to me. And I'm going to bring the camera over so you can see what I got going on my machine over here. I'm going to bring it in so it's nice and close. So I have my USB stick and I'm just going to stick that into my machine. And I'm going to go to the embroidery side. And I'm going to pull up the design for the center motif on my machine. Let's see, can you see that okay? Let me zoom in a little bit. So this is the design that I want pulled up on my machine. And I'm going to take my hoop, and I'm just using my midi hoop. And I'm just getting it all situated here. But I'm going to take my midi hoop and then I'm going to grab my background fabric. And I'm just going to place my background fabric in my hoop, and I want this center that I marked to be kind of in the middle. So you can line that up in your hoop. You have these little marks on the top of your hoop, if you can see that right here. They're just like two little double bars. That is pretty much the center, and then there's two little double bars down here on the bottom. So you can kind of just eyeball it up, and there's two little bars on the right and left side as well. So you can just kind of eyeball it. It doesn't need to be exactly straight, but close is close enough. So I'm eyeballing it, and I'm just sticking my background fabric in my hoop, and I'm just smoothing it down so it's stuck in the hoop. Okay, I have my center design pulled up. I'm going to put my hoop on the machine. And then over here on the side, there is my little midi hoop. And I just want to touch that midi hoop. And I'm going to touch this little circle, if you can see it with the crosshairs. And that's going to move it to the center. And you can see if I drop my needle down, it's not hitting that center crosshairs. So I want to move my design so it does hit those center crosshairs. So to do that, I'm just going to hit my little pencil for the edit, the little eye icon right here. And I just want to, I think you're not seeing what I want to show you there. That's a little bit better. And then I'm going to hit these crosshairs right here. And then I can move my needle so that when I drop it down, it will land right directly in the center. A little bit more. And this is how you really fine-tune the placement of your designs as well. Okay, so right there is exact center. So now what I can do, because I'm happy with where my needle falls when it's in the center of the design, now I can go ahead and stitch out the center designs on my fabric. And I already have that going over here on my other machine. So this is where I'm going to jump you ahead to where I have been stitching this morning. So I'm going to move you over here. And you can see that it is already stitching out. So we did step number 9, and that's what I showed you over on the other machine, where we loaded the design into the machine and we centered our needle with the center crosshairs of the fabric. Now what we're going to do as far as stitching out the design is you're going to follow in step number 10, and it has all of the isocord thread colors that we're using for this design listed in order. So step 1, you're going to use the isocord number 0520, which is the light yellow detail. Then when you're ready to go on to the second, after your thread change, so your second thread color is going to be isocord 0311. That's your dark yellow. Your medium yellow is number 3, step number 3, and that is isocord 0310. Step number 4 is your isocord number 5610. Step number 5, which is the step that I'm on right now, is isocord 5510. And it's almost done. There's less than a minute, and then I'm going to go on to step number 6, and that's going to be the light green, and that is the isocord 5740. And you're going to finish with the white, which is isocord 0010. So I hope that saved us a little bit of time by me having most of the center design stitched out. So now I'm on step number 6, and it tells me that step number 6 in this little ribbon right here. So I look at my instructions and it says I need color 5740, which is right here. And with the Isacord thread, if you're not familiar, on the bottom of the spool, it just pops open as a little thread keeper. So you can just unwind your tail out of there and then just snap it back shut. And I like using my multi-spool holder on the back of my Bernina so I can keep all the colors that I'm using for this design all back there and ready to go. All right, there's just a few minutes left of this stitching out. So while that is finishing stitching, I just want to show you, I'm going to bring the camera back over here. Back to me. Ooh, that's close. So if you're just joining us for the first time for our virtual embroidery club, I just want to show you some of the projects that we have been doing since the beginning of the year. So we started off in January and we made this really cute little sparkle tote bag from Kimberbell. So there is actually little lights on our bag. Let me turn those on so you can see how cute it is with the little lights on there. And we use the applique glitter sheets, and we use some Kimberbell felt, and we did a bunch of little appliques on there, so that turned out super cute. And we did a lining in the bag, and I even put a little zippered pocket in the inside to hold the little cord for the light switch. So that was our project in January. In February, we made this super cute kitchen towel, and we turned ours into a boa. So we included the fabric so you can wear it around your neck when you're in the kitchen, and you have your side that you can like dry the dishes and dry your hands on, and then you have this other cute side. And this was our project. It says life is short, eat the cake. And we used some applique there as well as the Kimberbell leather. So the leather is the plate that it's on and the little cherry on top. So that is some applique that we did in the hoop. So this is the feather boa. And if you really like this ombre towel, they come in a set that looks like this. So you have one pink ombre and one green ombre towel. And this is actually a special for all of you. So these are actually 50% off right now. So if you really like this design or you like the ombre towels and you can think of all different kinds of creative ideas on how to use it, now's the time to stock up on these towels. They are 50% off. So that's a great savings. They are originally $14.95. So I love the Kimberbell towels because they're perfect to embroider on. And if you're doing any online shopping for the Kimberbell products, right now is a good time to stock up on all of those. We are doing a sale. So when you go to check out, you're just going to put Kimber 30, so Kimber 30 in the coupon code section, and that is going to give you 30% off of all Kimberbell. So that is a good savings, and anything over $49 gets you free shipping. So if you want to stock up on anything, now is the time to do it. Again, that code is Kimber 30. That gets you 30% off, and the code is good from now until Sunday. So you can do a little bit of shopping online while you're watching this this virtual embroidery club class as well. All right, so now I just need to change my thread again, and I'm going to change it over to the white. And we're just going to finish up some little details. Okay, so that's stitching again. All right, so I showed you what we did in January. I showed you what we did in February. In March, oh, what did we do in March? I can't remember what we did in March. All of a sudden, I just drew a blank. Okay, so in May, we did, wait, I can remember. We did these little velvet tranium zipper pouches from Kimberbell. So we used the Kimberbell leather, and we used the vinyl, and we used some Kimberbell fabric, and we also used the felt. So we made these cute little zipper pouches that are completely lined, and they have one of the little wool felt balls for the zipper pull. So the bag is actually lined, everything comes in there. So this is another item from Kimberbell. If purple is your favorite color and you want to stock up on these little velveteen pouches, there are lots of different designs that you can put onto these little pouches. And so this is also an item that is going to be 50% off. So if you want to stock up, if you're looking for little gifts to make, maybe you're looking ahead to making some Christmas gifts and you need some little pouches. These are super fun and easy to make. So these little velveteen pouches are also 50% off right now. So that was March. And then we also made these garden flags from Oesd. And they come on this little stand. These stands are also available from Pine Needles Quilt and Sew, so you can just stick it right in the ground out in your garden. And there is a spray that you can spray on these flags to make it so that they don't fade as quickly. But look at how cute that is. I love these, like, they look like little chalkboard designs. And so there was 11 different designs, I believe, on this CD. And that was an Oesd project that we did. And there's 3 different sizes of all of the stitch outs as well. And then we made these little Oesd tapestry bags. So this was the CD from Oesd, and these are the bags. So there's 3 different designs. There's 2 different sizes for each of the 3 different bags. Look how cute that is. And so this is just a solid single piece of fabric, and all those different colors that you see in there is the thread. So the thread is what is making the design, and those turned out super cute. And I'll show you more of what we did, but I want to keep moving right along here. Okay. So I just have a couple little jump stitches that I just want to clean up. Sometimes you have little jump stitches in your designs, and that's okay. You just go right in with the little snips and you just clean those up. Okay. So I'm just going to tear this out of the hoop. Okay, so there is the center design. So if you notice, mine is square because I skipped a step this morning when I was trying to get this started, and I did not cut it into a circle yet. So I'm going to do that real quickly right now. So I'm just going to fold it in half and quickly do that. So if you skip a step, you don't have to think that your project is in ruins. It's okay, we can still salvage it. So that's what I'm going to do right now real fast. And then I'm going to show you how we use those Oesd template sheets. Don't you just love live videos? When you make a mistake, it's okay, we can fix it real quickly without having to edit anything out. Okay, so here is my circle, and I have it, we're all right back to where I need to be. This is my center, it's all done. So now what I'm gonna do is, remember we cut out all of these little lemons out of those Oesd template sheets, and we cut out all, we have them right here. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these stickers from these Oesd template sheets, and I'm gonna place these lemons onto this circle table topper just how I want them to stitch out. So this is a great product because not only is it just great for this project that we're doing today, but for example, Kimberbell has all of those little applique bonus bundle CDs. So maybe you want to figure out how you're going to use those little applique designs. You can print those out onto these Oesd template sheets, cut them out, and that way you can use the sticker to place it right on your project what you want to embroider on, and you'll see exactly how it looks without even making a stitch on it. So you can see exactly what it looks like before you hook it up to your machine and stitch it. So I'm going to just move the camera back over here so you can see how I'm going to place these on here. So I have 4 full lemons, and the rest are all of the little lemon wedges. Oops. Got it right here, and they're falling all over. So I'm going to take these little lemons, the full ones, because those are the ones I want to start with, because those are the ones that are going to be like on my 4 corners, even though it's a circle, but you know what I'm talking about. And I'll show you here exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm going to peel my lemon off. The one thing that I just want to take note of and explain to you real quickly is you can see, if you look really close, the white stitches that are on there. And if you are where you're fussy about the orientation of your stitches and you want things to mirror image each other, just pay attention to those little white decorative detail stitches. So what I'm going to do is I can see my finger marks of where I have marked my lines to mark my center, and I want to try to put these right on those lines and line them up, so that is like my point that I'm going off of. And I'm going to look at those little white decorative stitches and know which way to place this on here. And so you can do that with all of your lemon pieces. You're just going to peel the stickers off and you are going to stick them on where you want it to stitch out. And again, you're just going to pay attention to where your white stitches are so you know the orientation. And you don't want to go so close up to the edge of your fabric because you still have your binding that has to go around the edge, so you don't want to get it caught in there. So Elaine said she couldn't see what I was doing. I'm just showing you on this background piece where to place these stickers. Trying trying to get the camera. Maybe that's a little bit better. And here's my center fold line, so I'm just going to line this up, and I'm just kind of eyeballing it and making sure that the tip of my lemon right here is about the same distance on each of them all the way around. Now you can take your other little lemon wedges, and again you're going to just peel the stickers off, and you can place those however you would like them around the edge of your design. And because they're stickers, and if you don't like how you placed it, you can peel it up and re-stick it on there. So if you wanted it to be more uniform in how they're going on there, or if you wanted to just kind of skew them and put them every which way, that would be really cute too. It's your project. You can do it whichever way you would like. If you're really fussy about how you would place it, you could kind of take your two lemon pieces, go up together like this, and then create another little finger press here, so that you would have your two lemon wedges equal distance away from that little line that you just pressed in there. So so then you'd have like a pie shape with your finger presses, so you would know that a lemon piece goes in each one of the pie shapes. So you can just continue doing that all the way around. And I'll show you the finished one again so you can see exactly what it looks like with the lemons all the way around the outside. So how you place your stickers on there is how you're going to line up your machine to stitch them out. So I am going to grab my hoop. So I'm grabbing my midi hoop that I had already stitched or hooped the stable stick stabilizer in, and I am just going to take this and place it in here as best I can so that I can get those to stitch out, and I think they'll fit. So I think I left enough space from the edge that I can stitch out all four of these lemons. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so I'm going to move you back over here to my machine so you can see what's going on. Just going to put this USB stick in again. So Martha's asking about a 1/2 inch or 1 inch from the edge. It's up to you. It's your project if you want to go a 1/2 inch or if you want to go 1 inch from the edge. Totally up to you. Mine are about, I would say about just a little over a 1/2 inch from the edge. Okay, I'm just going to zoom this in so you can see the screen on my sewing machine. Okay, so now what you see on there is all of these lemons, right? These are my 3 designs that we loaded on there. I'm just going to hook my hoop. I'm just going to set my hoop there for a second. So I want to choose this lemon. And I'm going to change the hoop to the midi hoop because that's what I have on there. And I'm just going to touch the needle. Okay, so I'm going to go back because I want to edit this a little bit. So if I look at my orientation of my lemon that's in here, if you can see, let me make it a little bit bigger. You can see this is the white, the green is the white detail stitch. There's 3 little stars and then 2 over here. So I want to go into the eye and I'm going to rotate that because the one that's on my fabric is actually upside down compared to the one here on the screen. So I want it to read exactly the same way. So I'm just going to flip it. And I do that just by touching this little circle with the arrow. And I want to flip it 180 degrees. Okay, the next thing that I have on my machine is pinpoint placement. So I'm going to show you how to use that. There is a little box right here, and it looks like a little box that's kind of skewed. I want to touch that, and then I'm going to go to this butterfly that has the two little plus signs, because those are my points on my design that I want to tell my machine where it's at. So I'm going to touch the butterfly, and I'm going to zoom in on my lemon a little bit here. And I want to find a good point on this lemon where I can tell my machine where it's at. And one of the points I'm going to choose is right down here on this blue line, and I'm going to just zoom that in so you can see. But if I zoom it in, it's kind of hard to see it actually. Let me see if I can shut this light off so it's easier for you to see at home. Let me try to make it bigger. Okay. So I have hit my little plus sign right here to make it bigger, but I can see the exact points of where my needle is going to hit. So I'm going to choose this corner point right here, and I have this little marker, and it has a circle in there, and that circle right now is white, and that's what I want it to be. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the dials on my machine. I'm going to back you up just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. But I'm going to use these dials over here, and I'm going to move my needle so it's at that same point that I just marked on the design here. And I'm hoping that it will fit in here. And that's not a good sign when my hoop just turned red, but we'll make it work. So I'm just lining this up so I get to that exact same point on my needle. And let me bring this over here so I can show you. Let me see if I can zoom in so you can see. You can see that my needle is down, and it is down right on that same point that I put on my screen on the lemon. So now I'm just going to hit, I'm going to hit set, because that point is set on my machine. So now if I zoom out a little bit, now I can see that this little circle on this marker is now yellow. So that one is set. So now I'm going to go to my next marker, and I'm going to back it up just a little bit. And my next one I'm going to put up here on the other side, and maybe it won't let me choose that. It kind of lets me choose it. I'm just going to move this in by moving my top dial. I'm going to back this up so you can see what I'm doing. But I'm just moving my top dial because I'm moving the lemon over. So when I set it down here at the bottom, you can see that this is kind of rotating. So it's not moving from the point there on the bottom, it's just moving the top over. And that's what I want it to do. I'm going to hope that this works. So I can see that point that I chose right here on my screen. I can see that on the sticker, and that's where I want to move my needle now, is to be on that same point on the sticker. And there the red went away on my hoop. And I'm really close. And I'm just using these dials to really fine point exactly where I want my needle to drop down. And I like where it's dropping down right there. So now I'm just going to hit set again. So now my pinpoints are set. So the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to back it up a little bit. And I'm just double checking to make sure that both of my markers have the little yellow circles on there, and they do. And my outside of my hoop is not red anymore, so I fit inside that hoop. So I like where it's at right there. And so what I'm going to do is I can just hit the X here to back out because my lemon is placed exactly where I want it to be. So now I can just go ahead and I can stitch that lemon out. So I can tell my machine that I'm ready to stitch, and it's going to go up there. And I know that it is the medium color yellow that is the center of my lemon. So I'm going to thread my machine with my medium color yellow, which is the Isocord 0310. And I'm ready to start stitching. But before I start stitching, I want to go ahead and remove this sticker because I don't want that white background from the sticker showing through on my design. So I'm just going to remove the sticker. I have everything on how the sticker is going to be placed. I set that up with my pinpoint placement, and I can go ahead and stitch that out. All right, so that is going to take a little bit to stitch out. These lemons actually take quite a bit of time to stitch out. So while that's stitching, I'm going to keep talking to you and telling you a little bit about some more of the projects that we have been doing. And we're going to get to some of those door prizes as well. So if you have any questions on the pinpoint placement, go ahead and type them in the comments and I'll try to help answer. I hope the way I explained it made sense to you. You could see how that lemon made my hoop turn red, so it made it look like, oh my goodness, that lemon is not going to fit in the hoop. But when I placed my fabric in there, it felt like I had enough room around the edge that everything could fit in there and it would be good. Connie said, so glad that she can watch it again too. Yes, so this video is being recorded. It's going to be placed on our Pine Needles Facebook page, so you can go in and look for the August, I can't believe it's August already, the August Embroidery Club file, and you can watch all of this again. You can pause it, rewind it if you want to catch another little clip. But yes, this is a good project where you can practice that pinpoint placement, and as you get finished with this project, you're going to be a whiz at the pinpoint placement. If you don't have the pinpoint placement on your machine, don't worry about it, because you can do the same thing just using your crosshairs where you move your design on the screen. So you're going to kind of do that same exact thing. You're just going to move your crosshairs so that your lemon will fit in your embroidered area, and when you drop your needle down, that's where it's going to be. So you can use your crosshairs to move your design, or maybe you need to skew it a little bit. You can still do that without the pinpoint placement. It might not be quite as accurate, but it is a step around on how to do that. So I hope that helps to answer your question, Martha, a little bit, because you were saying, what if you don't have the pinpoint placement? So that's kind of what I was explaining. You can still do it. I know there is some great classes coming up. We talked about that a little bit Wednesday when we were actually able to meet in person in the brand new classroom. It was you guys that were there on Wednesday. You were the first people to be in that classroom for the first in-person event. And actually there is some classes coming up with Claudia where you're doing the sewing room or the potting shed, and she has excellent tips on how to do pinpoint placement. So that might be something that you want to work on. And Judy says she has the Bernina 790 Plus, but she doesn't know how to use the pinpoint placement. So this is a great lesson on how to use that. Okay, so I showed you some of the projects that we have done, some of the other projects that we just did last month. Were these super cute recipe embroidery towels, and there were these cute little tea towels that we had at the shop that have this cute little gingham check on the bottom. So we did ones for summer with like potato salad, deviled eggs, some baked beans, perfect potluck recipes. And then there was some Halloween ones, the dirt and worms. Look at how cute that is. And we have the black gingham check on the bottom for the Halloween ones, the caramel apples, and the witch's potion. Look at all that detail that's in there. So this was an Oesd project. And then we did some Christmas ones. So there's some chocolate fudge, some eggnog, and everyone's favorite for Christmas, sugar cookies. So those were the recipe tea towels that we did last month. So if you're just joining us, you can see that we do a ton of fun projects that help to teach you different things on how to use your embroidery machine. So let's do a door prize because I have a bunch of those to give away. So if you haven't already, go ahead and make sure that you have been letting me know that you're watching in the comments so that I know to get you in for the door prizes. You are eligible for the door prizes if you have signed up for the class. So let me grab the first one. And the first door prize that we have is these Winter Wonderland wool felted balls from Kimberbell. And the winner of this one is Georgina Bird. So congratulations, Georgina. We'll get you these wool felted balls. Let me just mark that down so I know who those go to. All right. Okay, so I showed you what we have done so far since the beginning of the year. Jane is wondering when the thread colors will be back in stock. They order those and they should be in shortly. I would give the shop a call maybe early next week. I would say for sure maybe by Friday they would be in. So just next week give the shop a call and make sure to see if those thread colors that you need for the project today are back in stock. And Joni says she's sewing with me today. Fun, fun. Okay, so I showed you the designs that we have done since the beginning of the year. So if you're brand new watching today and you want to see what designs we have coming up, what we're going to be working on next is for our September embroidery club, we are going to be doing the Petite table toppers. This is a Janie Babbage design. So it's this super cute little Halloween table topper that we are going to be making. So you will get the whole collection, so you'll be able to make all of them, as many as those designs that you want to make. In your kit, you will get enough fabric to make one of the designs, and that is happening on September 17th at 10 a.m. That is also going to be here live on the Facebook page. It's going to be virtual, and to get into that class, it is $29.99. So if you haven't already signed up for that, make sure you sign up for that class as well. In October, we are going to be working on Claudia's Creations, and we're going to be making these in the hoop Thanksgiving coasters. There's a little bit of a glare there, but look at how cute those coasters are. And I'm going to show you how to use these pre-cut 4.5-inch round coasters as well. There's other designs available like this, but once you get the technique down, you can go ahead and do all of this. Ginger says she's already got them all ordered. That's awesome. Let's see, that is the October one, and that is happening on October 15th at 10 a.m. That will also be virtual right here on our Facebook page as a live class, and it is $29.99 for that one as well. And in November, we are doing these bigger itty bitty booties by Smith Street Designs. So that is going to be super cute, and that is happening on November 19th, again live here on our Facebook page. It's going to be virtual and that will take place at 10 a.m. It's $29.99 to also sign up for this one to get the designs and the kit. If you like the Kimberbell events that we have had in the past, and we've had those virtually, they again are going to be virtually. We have 2 of them coming up. The first one that we have coming up is our Kimberbell Too Cute to Spook. It is a 2-day event. The designs for that one are super cute. And that is happening on September 25th and 26th. So to sign up for that one, it is $169 to sign up. And if you watched our Wednesday live video, we did show the designs there as well. They're super cute. And we also told you that the Too Cute to Spook event from Kimberbell is a event that is being retired, so the other shops out there can no longer offer it. We got in right before they cut it off with ours, so there is kits for our event. So if you want to join us for that one, make sure to call the shop right away and sign up. Let me show you how cute those designs are that we're going to be making. The first one is this Too Cute to Spook little tea towel. Look at how cute that little spider is with the ribbon, the little ribbon from Kimberbell in her hair. The next one that we are going to make is this cute little, it's like a little finger puppet. It's a little witch's hat, and you can use that to put your Halloween treats, your little suckers in, and hold it there. So this is all done in the hoop, and it will be virtual. We're also going to make this super cute little Einstein Cinch Bag, and this one, I didn't thread the ribbon through the right way, so it doesn't cinch up like it should. I need to get that fixed, but look at how cute this little Einstein bag is. And this is my favorite little quilted zipper pouch. So the zipper is put in the hoop. This little zipper pouch is completely lined. So all of this takes place right in the hoop. For the $169, you will get all the fabrics and the instructions and the designs to make all of these projects. So in the same colorways and everything. And we are also going to be making this cute little pumpkin candle mat. It's all quilted. And this technique, it teaches you how to do a double hooping. So we make, if your hoop is not large enough to hold this whole candle mat, we'll make half of it, and then we're going to rehoop it, and we'll make the other half. So I'll teach you all on how to do that. And we're also going to make this super cute little candy corn. It's quilted piece by number. So the piecing is done in the hoop, and the quilting is all done in the hoop. There's little ribbons, so you can hang it on a little stand like the one that I have up here on my shelf. Or you can make it, it does come in different sizes, so you can make it a little bit bigger. Switch out the batting for some Thinsul Bright and make it into a pot holder. You just would not put these little ribbons at the top. So that's another good idea. So another thing with these Kimberbell events is there is bonus CDs that are available for the Kimberbell events. The bonus CDs, you cannot get them anywhere else. You can only get them at that Kimberbell event. And each event has its own bonus CD, so those designs are super special, and you'll want to make sure that you signed up for the class and you earn that bonus CD as well. You earn the bonus CD by purchasing $100 worth of Kimberbell during the event. So over the 2 days, I'm sure you can find some products that maybe you can't live without on Kimberbell, and you want to add those to your shopping cart. That will get you that bonus designs CD. Okay, let's do another door prize quickly because we have lots of those to give away. I have a tea towel set that I want to give away for a door prize. And again, these tea towels are the best to embroider on. So if you have not tried embroidering on the tea towels, I recommend that you try them. And I love these little ombre ones, and these are one of those items that is currently 50% off. So if you want to stock up on those, now's a great time to do that. But the winner of these little ombre tea towels is Marilyn Sheehan. So congratulations, Marilyn, this is coming to you. Ginger is asking, is that Kimberbell event virtual? Yes, it is virtual. So the Too Cute to Spook virtual event is happening on September 25th and 26th. And the way that that works is you sign up. We create a private Facebook page. We make sure that all of those that signed up for that event are invited to that private page, and we go live there and we stitch out all our designs virtually. Let me just write that down that Marilyn won those tea towels. All right. The other event that is coming up is a brand new Halloween tea towel. Or I'm stuck on the tea towels. It's not a tea towel. It's a Kimberbell event. It's brand new. It's for Halloween. It's coming out. We are having it virtually. Again, we're going to create that private Facebook page. It is called Home Sweet Haunted Home. And I printed off some of these cute little projects so that you could see exactly what you're going to make. So there's these little pumpkins where it's all quilted with the quilting designs. It's super cute. There's some freestanding lace bats that we're gonna make. This super cute tea towel with the little pom-pom trim. It says Dead and Breakfast Inn. And here's a close-up of those little freestanding lace bats. And this cute little house that says Home Sweet Haunted Home. So those are some of the designs that are going to be featured in the Home Sweet Haunted Home. Again, it's $169 to sign up for that. And it is happening on October 9th and 10th. So there will also be a bonus CD available for that one. As soon as we get those kits in, we'll make the samples so that you can actually see them, and it will be super fun. So I love Halloween and all the cute Kimberbell stuff that there is for Halloween. So as you can see, I'm going to just show you real quickly over here on my machine. It's stitching away. And it's doing this lemon, and there's a lot of stitches in there, so it does go pretty slow. It says there's about 8 minutes left to finish this one, but I think it might take longer than 8 minutes. So each one of these lemons, it does take quite a while to stitch it all out. So I just wanted to show you how you do the pinpoint placement on there, so that you can do the same thing with all your other lemons all the way around the edge. Okay, so remember, if you are shopping today, it's Kimber 30 for 30% off of all your Kimberbell items, and that is good through Sunday. Any orders over $49 gets you the free shipping. And if you want to join us for our next embroidery events, make sure that you sign up for those as well. And again, if you need to look at the dates just for a refresher, you can go to pnqs.net, look under classes, clubs, and events, and everything will be listed there. You can choose which classes you're interested in and make sure that you are signed up for all of that. We have a couple more door prizes to give away while it's stitching out over here. Okay, so I have a package of the Bouquets Fall Pull Flowers. And this is going to go to Martha Waddell. So congratulations, Martha. These pull flowers from Kimberbell are coming to you. Okay, so while this is stitching out, I want to show you something else. Lots of good little tips today. So, in your fabric kit that you got, remember you got the 2 pieces of fabric, you got 1 black piece of fabric, that was your backing piece and your background piece for your, that we're embroidering on. So, I want to show you, I just want to quickly go over how to get your binding strips ready, because your other yellow piece of fabric, some of you got the yellow stripe, some of you got a solid yellow fabric. So we're going to go over on how to get those binding strips ready. Okay, so you're going to take your yellow piece of fabric, and what you're going to do is you're going to cut 2 strips that I like to, a lot of people like their bindings to be cut at 2.5. I cut mine at 2 1/4 because I like them just really tight. So you're going to take your 2 binding strips of fabric, and mine again are cut at 2 1/4. And let me move this out of all my stuff out of the way so I can have a little workspace to show you what we're doing here. Okay. I'm gonna bring you back down over here to my workstation. So what I'm gonna do with my 2 strips is I wanna join those together. And when I join my strips together, I take 1 strip and I'll place it going horizontally. And then I take my other strip, so horizontally face up. And I take my other strip and I place it vertically face down. Now, because this is a stripe fabric, I'm just going to take the time, and you can kind of see, but I want to line up those stripes so they are right on top of each other. And once I get those lined up, remember my horizontal one is face up, my vertical one is face down. I'm lining up my stripes, and I'm just going to place a pin up here in the corner to hold it where I like it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my ruler that is right here, and my little marking pencil, which is right here, and I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to line up, because I want a vertical line that goes from this corner right here where they come together, this corner, and it's going to go horizontally across my strips that are overlapping down to the opposite corner down here. So I'm going to mark that, and then I'm going to put a pin in there, and I'll hold it up to show you exactly where I'm marking it. And remember, those pins are just helping holding those stripes together. So you can faintly see that little pink line that goes from this corner up here down to the opposite corner down here. And now what I want to do is I want to take this over to my sewing machine, and I'm just going to do a straight stitch right on that pink line that is stitched out. So I'm going to move you back over here. And I'm just going to quickly switch my machine over from embroidery to the sewing. Tell my machine what foot I have on, and again I'm just going to do a straight stitch. right on that line that I have marked. Okay, so I have, this is my line and it's all stitched now. So now what I'm gonna do, hang on, I'm gonna stitch that again because it skipped a couple stitches right there at the beginning. You can see some big loops there and I want it stitched securely. Okay, that's better. So now what I'm going to do is I want to clip these tails off over here. So I'm going to measure over 1/4 of an inch from that stitch line and just trim those tails off. So I'll bring it over here to my cutting table. I need a camera person. So I have it lined, my 1/4 inch on my ruler lined up with my stitch line, and I'm just going to trim that off. And now you can see how that looks. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over to my iron, and I'm just going to iron this open. Pins up out of the way. And I'm just going to iron this open on the wrong side. And I did not cut my strips on the bias, even though we are putting this binding on a circle table topper. It's small enough that it worked well enough for me that I did not have to cut it on the bias because I wanted to have that nice strip on my fabric. And they lined up okay, and I'm okay with it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this whole strip and I am just going to iron the whole thing in half. And it's ironing it in half, wrong sides together. So if you can hear the sewing machine going in the background, you can see how slow it's stitching out. And I don't even have the speed on my machine turned down. It's turned up about 3/4 of the way. So if that gives you an idea of how much time it takes to actually stitch this design out, that is why I stitched the center out. I got that stitching out right away this morning before we started. So I like using my little wool pressing mat next to my machine. However, if I was doing this on a large ironing board, I would be able to go through and iron it quite a bit faster. All right, so there's my binding. It's all pressed and ready to go. Connie says she's loving how hers is stitching out. I love it too. It's so fun to see the just the detail in the stitches and how it's all stitching out. Okay, let's do another drawing for a couple of door prizes here. Okay, so I have a Kimberbell tote blank. So if you haven't commented to let me know that you're watching and you want to be into the door prizes, make sure that you comment. So this canvas tote bag is a blank from Kimberbell, and this one is going to Lenny Herman. So Lenny, this one is coming to you. So congratulations. We will get that sent to you. I'm going to just get it marked down so I don't forget where it belongs. I also have a tube of the embroidery leather to give away, and this is that pretty seafoam green color. I love this color, and this is going to I just drew a blank. Sandy Elfstrom. So congratulations, Sandy. This is going to you. Have to make sure I get these marked down so we keep them all straight. Another door prize winner, we have the copper Kimberbell glitter sheets, and the winner of this is Kathy Plug. So congratulations, Kathy. This one is coming to you. Marked down. Okay, so I want to give you, I want to tell you a little bit more about finishing off your table topper. So we cut two pieces in the very first that were 18 inches square. So if you wanted to, with mine, if you can see, I just stuck mine on my long arm, and I just did a meander stitch. I shrunk the size down and just did a meander stitch with invisible thread on the front all over, and I went right over the top of my lemons and my center design. So I love that meander stitch. I think that's what quilting is all about. So that's what I did on mine, and it turned out great. I love how it turned out. So what I needed for my background piece was a piece that was a little bit larger than the 18 by 18 inch square. So if you are going to stitch this out on, if you just want to do some basic quilting on there that you want a free motion on your domestic sewing machine, you can do that. And if you wanted to use your other 18 inch square, you can place this on top of there, sandwich it with a piece of batting in between. You could do some simple straight line quilting, would be super cute, because especially with the stripe binding. I think straight line quilting would be awesome, or any kind of free motion if you wanted to echo your lemons, that would be great too. So you just sandwich it and you quilt it however you would like. So another idea as far as finishing it, we have made envelope back things with our Kimberbell projects. So you could cut two more 18 by 18 inch square pieces of just plain back fabric, or whatever fabric you want to use for your backing. You would just fold both of those in half so that they overlap a little bit, and then you can just stitch. It's kind of like a self-binding. So you would place those folded pieces so they're overlapping on the front. and then you would just do a 1/4 inch stitch all the way around your circle, and then you just flip it through the fold for like a self-binding table topper. And I can show you I think I have, yep, I do. That is how we did this little candle mat. So you can see there's not a binding on here, but on the back you can see this is the fold, the envelope that I'm talking about, and how you just overlap it and then you just flip it. So let me just flip this inside out so you can see. But there's just some different ways, whichever way is easy for you. Martha's asking what kind of batting I use. I just use this scrap piece of batting. I love to use 80/20 batting in my quilts, and I always have scrap pieces of batting laying around, and it's not that big, so there's plenty of scrap bindings available. But you can see, if I put it this way, you can see where I just stitched, or this was all done in the hoop, but where it just did it just stitched right around the circle. This is how it looks, and then you just flip it through the envelope. So when you're doing anything with a circle, if sewing that binding on a circle makes you a little bit nervous, you could always finish your project just like this, and it looks perfect. So that's another little tip for you. And remember when I said it had 8 minutes left? Well, there's 3 minutes of that 8 minutes left. So these lemons take quite a while to stitch out. Okay, so let's do another door prize winner. I have a piece of sage velveteen, and this is a 12 by 24 inch piece of that sage velveteen from Kimberbell, and the winner of this is Cindy Hamilton. So congratulations, Cindy. I'll mark you down for the sage velveteen. Okay, another little prize that we have. Elaine is asking, when I put my binding on, did I sew it on the front first or on the back? So when I do my bindings, I sew them on the back first, and then I flip it over and I sew it on the front. So I sew it on the back first, flip it over, and sew it on the front. And you can see the stitch that I used is this like running serpentine stitch. It's the number 4 stitch on your Bernina, and then I just adjust the stitch to however I like it. If I want it a little wider, a little narrower, a little longer, however I want, how much ripple I want in my stitches, I just adjust it for the size of the quilt that I'm using, and then I just do that on there. Rebecca's asking, where do I get my 80/20 from? I actually pick it up right at Pine Needles Quilt and Sew. So I like to use the Quilter's Dream 80/20 batting. That's my favorite one to use. So, all right, I have a set of Summer Days button sets. Look at these cute little buttons from Kimberbell. Aren't those super cute? And the winner for those is Elaine Smith. So Elaine, you will get these little Summer Days buttons in with your things. Let me just mark those down. All right, does anybody have any more questions on how our project is coming together and how we're doing it? I showed you how to line up the center, get your center stitched out, place your stickers around the edge, and then use your pinpoint placement to use your lemons on there. And that's what you're going to do all the way around. So you just place your project in the hoop and try to fit as many lemons in your hooping. You're not going to get them all in there in one hooping unless you have a really big hoop. And then you can just take it out, hoop another piece of your stabilizer, move your project, place it in there, and do your next set of lemons. And like I said, those you will need to set aside almost a whole day, if not 2 days, to get all of your lemons stitched out, because they do take quite a bit of time. One more door prize that we have to give away is this cute little Machine Embroider by Number Summertime Collection. There's lots of cute little designs on there. The little camper, there's some watermelons and a little boat, a sailboat, the flag, super cute. So, and an ice cream cone. I love the ice cream cone, it's super cute. So the winner of this is Ginger Jordan. So congratulations, Ginger. We will get this sent to you. All right. So if you have any more questions, you can always type them in the comments. They will pop up on my Facebook page. I'll try to get those answered, and we will go from there. It's going to take quite a bit for this lemon to actually finish stitching out. So instead of keeping you on here longer than needed, I am going to end this video, and I hope that you enjoy how your little lemon or squeeze the day lemon table topper turns out. I think this is a super cute project, and it's super fun, and it's a great way to learn how to use the Oesd template sheets and print those designs off on there, and then be able to place those onto different projects so you can see exactly what your embroidery will look like on a finished product before you even make a stitch. So lots of fun little tidbits that we learned and different techniques in this month's project. So I hope that you all enjoyed, and that you will come back and join us again next month. Remember, we are meeting on September 17th at 10 a.m. right here live on our Facebook page, and it's $29.99 to join, and we are going to be making that petite table topper with the little pumpkins. So there was a lot of information that we went over today. I hope that you all enjoyed it and maybe learned something new, or if you are just watching for the first time and you haven't signed up yet, maybe you're getting an idea of how much fun embroidery can be and how many projects that you can make, and you will join us in the future. So I will see you all next month.